This is the Twin City News Around Town. A closer look at the people, places, and events around Batesburg-Leesville, Gilbert, and the Ridge. Presented by the Twin City News, Batesburg-Leesville's community journalism since 1925. Now, here's your editor of the Twin City News, Tony Bauman.
Welcome into this edition of Twin City News Around Town. I'm Tony Bauman, editor of the Twin City News, and this is our election coverage. And we are here to bring you profiles of each one of the candidates who are offering for Batesburg-Leesville Town Council. And our guest today is running unopposed for his seat on Town Council, but nonetheless we wanted to bring in incumbent Councilman Olin Gambrell. Thank you, Olin, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Glad to be here. First of all, just take up to 2 minutes, if you will. Maybe look right into that camera and introduce yourself to the readers of the Twin City News.
I'm Olin Gambrell III. I moved here in 1990. I was the first city manager of town of Batesburg-Leesville. I'm the bird that put these two towns together. When I got here, I had two councils, two mayors, two chiefs, two fire chiefs, two everything. So I immediately proceeded to rewrite. I'm doing all right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
To rewrite the ordinances and policies and procedures and set up for an election for the 8 districts that we presently have. It was fun. I'm a graduate of Honey Path High School, Forest College in Anderson, South Carolina, Anderson University, and University of South Carolina.
Okay. Thank you, Olin. And yes, you are doing just fine. Thank you.
Okay.
And hopefully you're going to do just fine the rest of the way. I know you will. You've been around this long enough. All right, let's jump right into the questions, asking the same 5 questions of all of the candidates. One of the most talked about issues of the past year or more has been the hospitality tax. 2 cents on every dollar spent on prepared food and beverages purchased from Batesburg-Leesville merchants. Money that under state law must be spent for tourism-related projects. Town Council has already allocated the first of those H-tax dollars, $48,500 for Christmas decorations, $80,000 for entrance signs, and $5,000 budgeted for promoting town events. What do you believe is the best use of the hospitality tax revenue?
Well, they're certainly going in the right direction. By improving the town, you improve people wanting to come. You have to have some type of attraction to get people in town. The Poultry Festival is beautiful. We need to revive what they had in town, in the Batesburg end of town. When I got here, they had a festival, and they had the same thing they did in Leesville. Leesville just grew for a reason. We have some funds now. We can reach out and expand our thinking about what we need to spend the money on. Christmas decorations is a beautiful thing. I happened to be, as you know, we were in 96 last weekend eating on the square before the football game. Now, if you haven't been to 96 in a while, you're going to get scared because they got a bunch of scarecrows down there. The whole town they're trying to get 96 scarecrows up and down the railroad track, and they've got 60. That will attract people. I mean, that's good. Doesn't cost much money, but it will attract people. And after all, that's what we're after, is attracting people with that money from the hospitality tax. I would ask any citizen that if they had an idea which meets the guidelines and the law that we can spend that money on, I would be all for it.
Economic development is a hot topic for pretty much everybody, including Batesburg-Leesville. Creating and attracting more and better job opportunities, new investment by companies in the town, and out at the industrial park, which has one tenant for a long time and now has a couple more on the way. What can Town Council do for the foreseeable future to improve the climate for economic opportunity in Batesburg-Leesville?
That's a tough question. The town doesn't have a direct role in economic development. We can offer services, and that's about all we can offer. Water and sewer, paving a road down through their property, providing them with X, Y, Z, whatever is necessary to attract them here. Now we can be the middleman to talk to the people to try to get them here. But gee, look how long it took to get Walmart here, to get the asphalt company into the industrial park. We're now having a grand opening of the asphalt of the Grant quarry is fixing to open up, and that stirred up a hornet's nest there. I mean, when you start talking about economic development, you have to fit that into your city. You've got to match what the city needs. Does the city need a quarry? It's going to make jobs. After all, that's what we're after. But are we after 4, 5, 100, 200 jobs? The grand scheme of things, we'll be after 2,000, 3,000 jobs. And that's not going to happen. Unless you get a tire place to come into town, or what's that new one coming to election? The smoking thing?
Well, the vapor
things that coming to what did I say? Anderson? Did I say Anderson?
You said Lexington, but
Lexington. Okay. They all run together after a while. But economic development is very important. We need to have a stable workforce, which we've got pretty much. I was in a meeting today and it said that we have 1% unemployment, including in the state's figures. That's pretty good. But you still have people out here looking for jobs, and we still have jobs. Now, what we got to do is combine them. Tech is an obvious place to go to get training for a job or whatever you need. And we are lucky enough to have a facility here. Now, that took a while. I can go back to when I got here, they were talking to Middle Stick about that. And eventually, took 25 years, but we finally got them.
public safety is always a huge concern for the citizenry in any community. Batesburg-Leesville, it's a fairly large, spread out geographic area with those two distinct downtown districts and smaller neighborhoods surrounding. Recently, sadly, there was a double murder here in town. Some indication of gang activity before that, centered around a series of automobile break-ins. What can the town and town council do to better ensure public safety in Batesburg-Leesville?
Well, that's a good one, Tony. That's always going to be here, and it always has been here. What we do have some gang activity in the town. I'll admit that one. Back 20 years ago, we had a little bit of gang activity here in town. Young people, for whatever reason, look for something to get involved in. It ain't the norm for them to get involved in good things. If they gonna hang around light post at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna get in trouble. We have a good police department, well-trained police department, well-equipped police department. We still do not have a sufficient amount of patrol officers to patrol all of these vicinities that would need to be patrolled. That takes money. The police department makes up, I think it's 60 or 70% of our budget now. That's a gob of money, son. But you have to pay these people to get them. Now, we are known as a training ground. We will get an officer, we will train an officer for 2 or 3 years, and boop, they're gone. Whatever, they're going to Lexington, to the Lexington Sheriff Department, to the city of Lexington, to somewhere that's paying them $40,000 to $50,000. I don't blame them. I've had that problem everywhere I've been. We train them, get them out the door, keep them for 2 or 3 years, and then start all over again.
So the best bet is to train them up and continue to recruit.
Recruit. That's the magic thing there, is to recruit qualified people and train them.
And give them the resources to do their jobs.
And give them the resources to do the job.
One topic that has been on the town's drawing board for more than a decade is water. Batesburg-Leesville has an aging water system. Residential and commercial growth creates a higher demand for water, and the town of Batesburg-Leesville has to be ready to meet that demand, Councilman. Not too long ago, right up the road, Saluda County Water and Sewer Authority opened up a state-of-the-art plant 12 miles up the road. And then you have all around us Gilbert Summit Water, Joint Water and Sewer Authority, other players in this game. What do you see as a councilman as the future of water service in this town?
Well, it's no doubt we need an alternate source of water. I mean, we got to have it. When I came here 25 years ago, our water plant was old. at that time. Now, it was a modern water plant in that we was running it good, getting all the water we need. But as time goes along, you sell more taps. With more taps comes more usage. That's good. Except for one thing, you've got a source that you got to worry about. Now, we're in the process of trying to whittle down the 5 or 6 ideas that we have of getting that source, alternate source of water. And we're going to reach it. We're going to get it there. But like you said, Gilbert Summit up here, they got plans of their own. Saluda got plans of their own,
and they have followed through with a $53 million plan.
Yeah, they're moving along. Okay, we're going to have to get off our hind ends and make a choice as to what direction we want to go, and go that direction. That's it. The heck with paying $2 million and not having nothing to show for it. I mean, that's just, that ain't good. We are presently, like as I said, we have presently got a consultant that is analyzing our choices for us to come back with a non-binding, mixed up idea about what is the best choice. That's what I want to do, is make the best choice for the town of Batesburg-Leesville's customers and surrounding customers.
So we're just looking at some time constraints here.
Okay.
I want to get to my last question here. One last thing. Anyone who attends one of the town council monthly meetings is apt at any given time to see perhaps a lapse or two or more of order. At times, in my opinion, council meetings can get derailed by sidebars and some squabbles and extraneous conversation. Your thoughts on it?
Oh, my thoughts? Are we on the air?
We're on the air.
I feel like that we are all professionals. We are getting paid a stipend now to come to the meetings.
Or will, starting in December.
In December. And we will have to be professionally, act professionally, and be professionally in order to get up here in front of people. This sidebar talking and stuff like that between 1 or 2 council people and just voicing your opinion without getting recognized for it, or bringing up something that we're not talking about at that time, that's got to stop.
Now, you've been around long enough. You've seen it.
I've seen it.
But you've also seen good government.
Yes, sir. I've seen both sides of it. It starts at the top. The mayor is trying his best to control the situation. He just needs a little help from the 8 councilmen over there. That's
okay.
it.
Councilman, just take about 1 minute, if you will, and give your final thoughts to the voters of Batesburg-Leesville who, well, you're going to be the only person on that particular district for on the ballot for that particular district, but Councilman, there's always Mickey Mouse.
Well, now, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there was a little town up in Iowa about 10, 15 years ago that the mayor was running for re-election, and nobody was running against him, so everybody, he's got it. Well, guess what? Mickey Mouse got enough votes to come in. So Mickey Mouse was the mayor of that town. I wish I could remember where it was. And they had a wonderful time trying to get out of that mess. So, you know, I'm glad that I don't have an opponent. I'm glad that people think that, hey, I'm doing a halfway decent job. I've got more experience than anybody on council. I have about 30 years, 32 years, somewhere in that neighborhood of working in municipal government.
And you have a history in pretty much every town down Highway 23.
Yeah, Edgefield, Johnson. Yeah, I get around. I get around and I get educated. I believe that that the employees of the town should be educated to the point of their particular job that they should know what they're doing.
All right.
Yeah, if they don't know what they're doing, then we don't know.
Councilman Olin Gambrell,
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
sir.
you coming in.
Appreciate coming. And
All right.
Have a good day.
Don't you dare think about voting again for Mickey Mouse, okay? This is the guy that's on the ballot. And that's not an endorsement. I'm just dispensing facts. There's one candidate for that district, and that's Olin Gambrell. And I hope you'll participate in the process. My thanks again to Councilman Gambrell for coming in here. Best of luck on November 5th.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not a betting man, but I would think you're probably going to win that one. And we will see you the next time with another edition of Twin City News Around Town. Thanks for watching.
That's a wrap.
This has been the Twin City News Around Town. If you have a story idea for a future edition, call us at 803-532-6203 or email us at editor@twin-citynews.com. Thank you for listening and reading the Twin City News, Batesburg-Leesville's community journalism since 1925.